Okay, so let's say that you've got two games set up and you have one game that has information that you want in this game. As a free or plus subscriber, you're going to have to recreate that entire thing. However, let's say that you're a pro subscriber. If you're a pro subscriber, you have some other options. If you come to the settings tab, so click on the My Settings, click on Miscellaneous, and you'll see an option for Transmogrifier. Transmogrifier allows you to drag information from one game into another game. So let's go to my Transmogrifier, and the game that I want to grab from is, let's say, Desert of Desolation. You'll see that it's taking a little bit because I'm loading in a ton of resources right now. Okay, we'll click on Transmogrifier, and you'll see that the current game has all the information there. I then select Desert of Desolation, which is the game I want to pull information from, and you'll see I have access to all of my pages. I have, and pages are the same thing as handouts. I've got access to all of my characters from that game. But what I'm looking for is handouts. And what I want is, I want this helm. And I want end of all. So I just click and drag that over. You'll see the dotted lines. That tells me that it's coming into that game. If I scroll up, you'll see that those are now there for the handouts. And I take that back. Pages are your maps. So I've got this map called the Plundered Tomb. Let's bring that over as well. Now, with the Transmogrifier, now that that's there, I close this out. If I go over to the characters, you'll see that my two handouts are here. If I click on that, it brings up a picture of my handout, any notes that I have associated with it, as well as any GM notes. Now, your characters have found this in this cave with the Barghast, and you want to show it to them. A couple things that you can do is click on the Show to Players. This will pop the handout up on their screen so that they're seeing it right now. You can also go into the edit and you can say, I want this in all players' journals. And now it would appear in their journal over here. So when they're on the same page as their characters, they would now have a handout that says end of all. You'll notice that it's got a little blue dot. That lets me know that it's shared with all the players. Whereas this particular character, you'll note, is we've got a pink dot there. He's only shared with the player Hank. And so only Hank would see this particular character. And I happen to be Hank, so I'm the only one that would see it anyway at the moment. But that's how you can control who can see what over here. Now, if you have a character that you want the other players to be able to see, but not control, again, you would just come over here, click on the edit, and you would put it in the player's journal, but not in the can be edited and controlled by. Now, one thing to know is if you do that, if you have it only in the player's journal, the only thing that they would be able to see would be any information that you have on the bio and info tab. These other two tabs would not be accessible to those players. They wouldn't even be visible to the other players unless you gave them can be edited and controlled by. So if you're going to give people access to the character, you may want to make sure that some basic information is at least on the bio and info tab so that they know who this character is, maybe what their name is, which of course is visible up here, but what's special about them, why do they know this person, etc. But that'd be how you would show that to players. You can also click the Show to Players here as well, and that will not give them access to control or edit it, but it would pop it up on their screen so they can see that character as well. Same thing with the helm. You can show that to players or whatever, and then it would pop up on their screen. Now, the other thing that we did is we moved some pages over. So if you come over here, you'll see that we now have, or we should have had, a map for the Plundered Tomb. Oh, that's probably because I archived it. There it is. So I can restore that. And then if I go to that map, you'll see that it's set up already. And you'll also notice that if I go to the dynamic lighting, that all my dynamic lighting lines are already there. And so it came over with the lighting settings already in place. So that's one of the big benefits of being able to use the transmogrifier. So FYI, it can make your life tons easier if you have the pro subscription and have maps on other games. Otherwise, I'd have to recreate this completely from scratch. Anyway, so that's how you can use handouts and show them to your players as well as characters. And I hope you found that useful.